Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. My family lives in a mountain village. In the early years, my parents went out to work and my grandmother raised me. When I was 6 years old, a man in black came to the village and cheated me out of the mountain village with a lollipop on the grounds of leading the way. After leaving the mountain village, I couldn't go back. They knocked me unconscious. When I woke up, I had come to a strange city that I was sent to a strange family. Later, I learned that I was sold for 150000. Young and ignorant, I couldn't see my grandmother crying. My adoptive parents comforted me and asked me why I cried. I shouted to my grandmother loudly. Adoptive parents knew that I didn't come out of the orphanage, but cheated from the mountain village. They asked my address, not to mention the county name. I don't even know what province I live in. I lived to 6 years old and never left that small mountain village. The adoptive parents were helpless and felt guilty for me. They just wanted a son and didn't give birth after working hard for several years. However, there are rules for adoption in the orphanage. They must have no children. The adoptive parents have a daughter, which is similar to my age. They can only inquire from other channels and say that someone can help and need 150000. The adoptive mother squatted down, held my face and said mercifully, "From today on, you are my child." I am confused about everything, but for adoptive parents, there is an instinctive trust. I believe that they are not bad people and are not with those traffickers. My adoptive father was very happy to see that I stopped crying. He specially bathed me. I was at a loss and had to accept it silently. In the evening, I saw their daughter Chinya. Her adoptive parents asked her to call her brother, but she was very dissatisfied with my arrival and often tried to bully me. Adoptive parents are very kind to me and will ask me what I want to eat. As long as I like, they will satisfy me. Later, Chinya also got used to my existence. She often shared some trivial things encountered in school. Every time, I listened quietly. However, my character is becoming more and more introverted. Late at night, I dream that traffickers take out lollipops with a smile. Every time I wake up, I will be in a cold sweat. After my adoptive parents knew about it, they took me to consult a psychologist. Not only did they fail to enlighten me, but they made me feel inferior. I think I was suffering from some kind of mental disease. After returning home, the adoptive parents frowned and sighed deeply. Chinya stood up and said confidently, "Mom and Dad, I sleep with Chinchio at night and take good care of him." The adoptive parents agreed without much thought, but they didn't hold much hope. Strange to say, since Chinya slept with me, the nightmare rarely appeared. Every time it appeared, Chinya would seriously touch my back and comfort her brother. Don't be afraid. This makes adoptive parents smile, as if they have solved a century s problem. 10 years passed quickly. In the past 10 years, Chinya slept with me almost every day, but with the growth of age and the influence of the whole body, I was no longer the ignorant teenager. Chinya also grew up. She often changed clothes recklessly in front of me. Her slender white jade legs swayed in front of me, which made me feel dizzy and excited. My old face turned red. She didn't think so. Especially at night, when they sleep together, there will inevitably be some physical friction, which will lift the flame in my heart every time. However, I dare not do anything. This is my sister, I know, but the bud of love has already risen at the moment when I first met her. The real outbreak was that night that we slept sideways as usual, but when I was half asleep and half awake, I vaguely felt that Chinya turned around and gently kissed me on the mouth. The soft, smooth and tender red lips made me suddenly sober. In the bright moonlight, I saw her red and pretty face, shyly hiding in my arms and lingering. The desire in my body, the fire was almost lit, and my mind was gradually blurred. Although I tried my best to control it, my hand still involuntarily hugged her slender waist. In the hot summer, she was only wearing underwear. When my hand touched her white and smooth skin, her body and I shook. Her figure is really good. There is no fat on her flat belly. I can see her career line when I look down. Her development is much better than that of ordinary girls. Brother. Chinya raised her head in her arms and said to me longingly, "Is it good for me to marry you when I grow up?" I was at a loss, because I never thought about getting married. Maybe girls are really much more mature than boys, ask yourself. I really like Chinya. Her glance and smile are engraved in my mind. Good. I laughed foolishly. Then we /LL be husband and wife sooner or later. Chinya chuckled, her voice getting smaller and smaller. Do you want to do something that husband and wife should do? Well, what /s up? I don't /t know why. Silly brother. Chinya held me tightly, and her body was almost integrated into my body. Her hot body completely detonated me that I held her pretty face uncontrollably and kissed her red lips overbearing dry firewood and fire, lighted in a moment. That night, we almost finished all the things that should be done between husband and wife, but maybe the noise was too loud. The adoptive mother broke in and poured us a glass of milk after calming down. I didn't /t mean to continue. Chinya blushed and turned her back to me. We laughed secretly. Later, we hugged each other and slept. We enjoyed it very much. Later, Chinya seduced me several times. For her, we must get married in the future. I also firmly believe that, but every time I refused her, because, I think, the beautiful first time between us should stay on the wedding night, not because of young ignorance and reckless end that I am very happy and think this happiness will last forever, but I am wrong. Absolutely wrong. After Chinya and I were promoted to high school, she often received love letters, and even made a list of school flowers among students. She ranked first. She was not disturbed by the outside world and studied conscientiously, but I was miserable because I went to and from school together every day, so everyone knew that I was Chinya /s brother, that I am cowardly and introverted. In order to attract Chinya /s attention, some boys will often bully me. Every time Chinya will stand up to protect me and drive away those people. However, such help is not the way. One day, when Chinya is away, she told me that men should stand up and stand up. If someone beats me, even if they are knocked down, they should stand up and say it again. There is a suitor of Chinya in the class, named Yang Jun, who is said to be a rich second generation, followed by a group of younger brothers. He is very ruffian. That afternoon, Chen Jun came to me, grabbed my collar and said contemptuously, "In the evening, you take Chinya to Tianhua KTV, understand?" I am still afraid of Chen Jun, because he often drags me into the toilet to fight. No. My parents said they would go home on time at night. Despite my fear, I refused. Fuck you. Chen Jun slapped me on the head impatiently. I am in high school and still a good baby. I /LL say it again. As long as I don't /TC Chen Yaran at night, you /LL die. With that, Chen Jun swaggered away. For a whole day, I was caught in a tangle. I didn't /T want to be beaten. Chen Jun was really careless. He beat me many times and spit bitter water. Sometimes he went too far and spilled urine on me. If I didn't /T take Chinya with me, who knows what kind of revenge would come tomorrow. This hesitation lasted until the evening. After school, Chinya came to the door of the class to wait for me. Seeing that I was worried, she frowned and said angrily, "Brother, who hit you again?" I quickly shook my head. No. She was a little suspicious, but she didn't /T ask much. We came to the school gate all the time. Turn left is the way to KTV and turn right is the way home. I know it /s time for me to make a choice. Under a cruel heart, I grinned at Chinya and said, "Xiaoya, I have something to tell you." Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.